win-in scenario, and they need an Eagles loss. They need an Eagles loss and a Redskins loss in order to make it, just like last week, and it didn't happen. We'll see what happens later today. So they miss Des Bryant and Jason Witten desperately. Their owner and general manager got roasted for paying a heavy price for a wide receiver that had been on an Oakland milk carton, all while the fan base was fitting their coach with a Kevlar suit for his hot seat. And then all of a sudden, it turned. 5 straight wins. Amari Cooper looked like a Hall of Famer. And the Dallas Cowboys put themselves on the verge of an NFC East title until last week's shutout loss to the Colts put everyone in the Metroplex on the verge of a nervous breakdown once again. If it's been exhausting for you, we have been riding that roller coaster with you all season long. Dallas Cowboys wondering how they can get back on track. Will the Cowboys eventually turn this thing around?
We're talking about saving the season, the 4th game of the year.
Let's talk about Michael's Cowboys. You see the division there? It's not out for grabs.
A Dallas Cowboy who's to blame conversation. What Cowboys team did you see today?
Here's our weekly chat. Is the Cowboys offense back?
The biggest reason for the Cowboys turnaround, is it Amari Cooper?
Amari Cooper is the man in Dallas, and I'm glad they went and got him after they heard me talk about it.
Are the Cowboys contenders in the NFC?
That's the way I set you up with a topic bar to boot. How far can the Cowboys go? Here comes the Dallas Cowboys.
Did you hear it's a prove it week? That got to prove it to me.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun.
The prove it week.
We were all over the map. Kurt and I both had beers and we've since
prove it.
shaved it. You lost your voice. You got it back. I mean, and the Cowboys are here, and then they're there, then they're here, and now they're here. We don't know where they
you're
are.
Right, it's my voice. When my voice was gone, they were great. My voice came
No. Let's
Oh,
not
my
do that.
gosh.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Are you serious?
No. That's how badly he wants it.
blow this voice
All right,
out.
so what's the topic bar today? Let's see what it is
Blow this
today.
voice out.
Topic bar is going to roll. Drum roll, please. Who are the real Cowboys? Hey, everybody. We have some nice parting gifts for you. Irv, you're first.
It was interesting, and it's a fitting question that we ask, who are the real Cowboys? What I've noticed is you just survey the land around the NFL. Every way someone has won a Super Bowl, that's how they want. Cowboys, we're always looking for the next big 3. They're looking for the greatest show on turf with the Rams. But the reality is, these real Cowboys will have to win basically, and I think primarily, with that defense. And allow this offense to find a rhythm, because they play well in spots here, spots there. And that's why I jokingly, but not jokingly, send a message to the Cowboys, like, this defense, you got to play like the Ravens played last night. I mean, even if your offense don't move the ball, shut everything down. That's the way, and that's who these real Cowboys are. And hopefully that triplet thing that everybody wants, that plays well now and then, will come back and go around and get back up again.
And for me, I'm going to answer the question with the question. Who is Dak Prescott? That's what I want to know, and I've been saying it for weeks. This team goes as Dak goes. At home, they're 6-1. On the road, they're 2-5. At home, he's got 109 quarterback rating. On the road, 79. I mean, the fluctuation at the quarterback position is what's leaving us asking this question every single week. They play good defense. They can run the football. Dak has moments where he shows us he can play big-time football, and then he has moments where we're sitting there going, is he the future of this organization? We need to find consistency at that position. We need to figure out who Dak Prescott is. We've seen the good, we've seen the bad, but to me, this Cowboys team is who Dak Prescott is.
A missed field goal last week, and then the 4th and 1 that they don't convert. Dak threw the ball, the guy missed the touchdown. I mean, you put all that on Dak also?
They scored 0 points.
Yeah, but the guy dropped the touchdown.
Well, okay, so they would have had 7. Okay, they needed at least 21. And again, I'm just saying, I think they have some pieces. Yeah. I just want consistency from Dak because I know he can make those plays. Why do we see him one week and then we can't see him another week?
Steve, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I dozed off. So they're the 3rd youngest team in the NFL. They are consistently inconsistent. You don't know what the defense is going to do sometimes. You don't know what the offense is going to do sometimes. You don't know what the special teams. They're just a young team. They're making a lot of mistakes, but also, too, here's the one thing. We'll talk about it later. I don't believe Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the future of the Dallas Cowboys.
What?
Absolutely. I said that. Let me say it again. Me. I do not believe that Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the future. Here's why. Ezekiel Elliott is really that quarterback of their team. Everything goes as Ezekiel Elliott goes, not Dak Prescott. When you have to be perfect, which only one man was perfect, and none of us are those guys or Dak Prescott, they are not that team. And so it is hard to play a perfect game. But we'll talk about that later.
So, but hold on a minute. Let me just get a little bit more meat in the bones. Because for that to be the case, then Jerry Jones is going to have to believe that too. And I don't think he's going to sit there when it comes time to giving Dak an extension, say, would be in lockstep with you. So you think that Jerry Jones should not give Dak Prescott an extension and find a different quarterback either in the draft or free agency?
I don't believe you necessarily need to find a new quarterback. I think you have to put more pieces around him because he is not that guy, and not necessarily because he isn't capable of doing it. I just don't believe this offense is built to have success with Dak Prescott. They like to run the ball. They like to run the ball. They're infatuated with running the ball. When you can't give up a turnover, and that's the only way you win, you look at the statistics, he only has 8 interceptions. There are other guys with 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. You're telling me that screwed up football. You don't play don't screw it up football. That is a defensive-minded coach.
You are absolutely.
He's an offensive-minded coach.
Excuse me, Steve. You're absolutely right about the youth of this football team. We just had a topic bar said they're the 3rd youngest team in the league. However, guys, they're the youngest team in the league with a winning record in playoff contention. They're the youngest team. That's where the inconsistency comes from. You lose 5 on the road. You win 6 at home. Young teams don't win on the road very often, right? But I'll promise you, I'd love to coach Dak Prescott because that kid's got a lot of juice, man. He's a smart kid. He's a tough kid. All those things. And he's young. Let's keep in mind youth. I mean, this team's so inconsistent that we've heard before. They beat the Super Bowl champs twice. They beat the #1 seed Saints already. And then they go on the road and lose some games. We went, what? What did they just do? There's the inconsistency. But you get Travis Frederick back. You got 8 guys on defense with their first contract and all these young guys. The Cowboy Nation, Mike, they ought to be excited in the Metroplex because I don't know how far they go with this young team this year. But if they win, they're going to win the division. It's pretty good. But in the future, look out. They are rebuilding a heck of a football team in Dallas.
And they're not using all of Dak. I want to see them allow him some design runs, like what we saw Lamar Jackson do. He has some great running ability. Let's use that and give him some runs and some attempts at that.
Certainly, if it's a mesh point with Zeke, and you've got to wonder who's got it. I mean, that would present a conundrum for the defense trying to figure that out. But I guess the answer to this question, who are the real Cowboys, is we've just got 5 emoji shrugs right here.
We don't know.
Okay, there you go.